Hey everybody, hi homeroom 1 and homeroom 2. Welcome to week 2 of eSchool. You made it. You survived the first week. I hope you had a great weekend. I just wanted to take a few minutes to explain what you're going to be doing today and to update you on some changes that I hope are going to make literacy function even better this week. Honestly, last week went pretty well. We had really high completion rates for the mastery checks, for the classwork, but we're going to change a few things just to make things work even better. So expect to be here for about 5 minutes, and then you'll have the rest of the block today to just work on your module. So first thing I wanted to just update us on is our poll from last week. Apparently, Tiger King is in the lead for Best Quarantine TV Show. I watched it. It's very crazy. If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend it. If you're like willing to kind of go down a rabbit hole of insanity. So I don't know. Maybe that's like where we all are anyway. Anyway, okay, moving on. So just some quick feedback from last week. The grades have been updated. Your first mastery check went in at 100% if you did it. So we graded the mastery check for module 2. It was based on run-on sentences. And whatever you got, as long as you submitted that mastery check, you got 100%. So moving forward, we're going to be grading the mastery checks for accuracy. So it definitely is important now that we've like learned the systems, now that we know where everything is, that you do your best on those mastery checks and on your classwork. Second kind of piece of feedback from last week is that when you're doing your independent practice, it's really important that you write your name next to all of your work. So we can see that homeroom 1 really crushed this on Thursday of last week. Students were writing their names next to their response in column 1 and also next to the feedback that they wrote in column 2. So if you don't write your name next to your stuff, I can't tell what you're writing. So it's really important that you just record your name so you get credit for all of that. All right. So a few updates. I think probably one thing that everybody's wondering is what is happening with grades. You will start to get grades. I have updated grades from last week. And the really most important thing for you to know is that when you want to see your literacy class grade, you need to check your reading class on IC. So even though I was your writing teacher, we have merged the classes and all grades are going in the reading class. So if you look in your reading class, you'll see the assignments you did in reading up until we had our break, and then you'll see a couple of assignments that you did last week. So some people might be wondering, like, what happens to my writing grade? What happens to my social movement project that we just did? And the answer is I honestly don't know yet. We're not exactly sure how we're going to take the writing grades and move them over. We're not sure what's going to happen. So I will get you information as soon as I can. You can reach out to me if you have specific questions about your grade, but that's the situation there. Okay. So then the last thing that I want to spend a little bit more time on is that we have a new process for independent reading. So I'm going to show you where to find your independent reading document that you're going to be using as we move forward throughout this week. And I'm going to give you kind of some tools and some tips about how to do independent reading moving forward. Okay, so if you go to Google Classroom, you will see your modules for this week, 3 through 6. And you're also going to see a document that says Week 2 IR Homework. If you open that document, you're going to see a IR log for you that's specific to this week, week 2 of eSchool. So instead of having you do your IR in each module, you're going to do your IR all in one place so that we can just have it in one document, which is going to be really great. So I'll just kind of point a few things out here. You are expected to read for 30 minutes outside of each literacy block. So that means there's 4 literacy blocks. You're expected to read 4 30-minute chunks throughout the week. For each of these, you can read your IRB. You can also explore different links, different articles, different ebooks, and we've provided some options for you. You're going to read for 30 minutes, and then you are going to record in this table, in this document, a 3 to 4 sentence objective summary about what you've read. So that means a summary about what happened in the section of the book that you just read, not a summary about the entire book, and also not like a copy and pasted portion of an article that you read. So you are going to think, okay, I read for 30 minutes. What happened? What were the main things that happened? And you're going to write a 3 to 4 sentence summary about that. Okay, if you do not have an IRB, you can reach out to me. You can also reach out to Ms. Wolski or Ms. Tidwell if you need some support there as well. There are tons of books available online, and here are some resources for you to explore where you can find free books. And we're also going to be keeping a document that Ms. Tidwell, Ms. Wolski, and I are creating just with like ongoing books and articles. So if you have something, if you say come across like a free book that you're really excited about, send me a link and or send me a Teams message and I'll add it to this document. A couple other tools to point out. There's a 30-minute timer for you. I know if you're like me, you're probably kind of trying to figure out how to structure your time, and like setting a timer and actually sitting down to read for 30 minutes can be super helpful. Also, if you want a reading buddy, I have created a video for you on YouTube where I'm literally just reading on my couch and drinking iced coffee. There I am. And so you can play this, there's some music, and you can just like read with me if you feel weird or just don't want to read by yourself for the day. Okay, cool. So once you've read for 30 minutes, you're going to log your reading and write your summary in this table. Record your independent reading here. So you'll see an example here. Ms. Wolski is reading the play A Raisin in the Sun, and she wrote this summary about Act 1, Scene 1 of this play. So you'll record the date, the title and the level, the title of what you're reading and the level if you know it. This is especially important for me because I don't know what you all are reading right now, how many pages you read, and your summary. You can switch around, like if you're reading articles or if you're testing out different books, that's okay. I just think that it's important that you kind of look for something that you can commit to reading for a longer period of time. This is a good week to kind of explore. Okay, great. And then there's an option to do bonus reading. One question I imagine you might be thinking is, what if I read for an hour one day? Can I record 2 different chunks? And yes, that's fine. You can figure out how you want to get these 4 30-minute chunks done. So that would be 2 hours total of reading. Okay, so that is our update on IR. I am going to be checking in on you about this, and you can ask me questions throughout the week, but that will be due, that IR document is due on Friday at noon. Everything is due on Friday at noon. All right, so last thing, we have kind of our steps here. If you are at this point, you have already completed step 1 and you're about to finish step 2. So you have gone to Google Classroom and you found module 3. You are watching the intro to week 2 video with important updates, and you're going to spend the rest of class time today working on 4.13 module 3. And if you finish that, you can get started on your IR for today. I am glad to be back in eSchool with you all, and I hope you have a wonderful Monday.